The following program is produced by students of the Brian Lamb School of Communication at Purdue University.
Good morning, welcome to Fast Track Extra here on this Monday. It is March now, and that means we are 1 week closer to spring break, now under 2 weeks away. Hope you booked your destination to somewhere warm because I'm sure that most of you are sick of this cold weather. On the bright side, turning to your weather headlines, not much snow in the forecast over the next week. That's the good news. However, it's going to be cold early this week, but dare I say a warm-up coming up in the near future. Sure, a lot of you are looking forward to that, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. But just a quick look back at the weekend. Snow accumulations about 3.5 here in Lafayette as we look around the entire region. A spread of anywhere from 2 inches to Indianapolis to 4 inches in Warsaw. So not as big of a winter storm here as it was for places further to our south. Now looking into the future, this afternoon it's going to be mostly sunny, but it is going to be cold, that high temperature of 15 degrees. And on your 3-day forecast, Tuesday, we're going to hit 22 degrees for a high after a very cold -1 in the morning, and then getting close to freezing for our highs later on into the middle of the week. Now I'll be back to talk about the rest of your extended forecast in just a moment. But now we'll send it over to Lauren with the news.
Thanks, Alex. I'm sure we're all eagerly awaiting spring. Good morning, Purdue. I'm Lauren Westberg with your local news. Last week, Purdue police issued a return on the search warrant for Cody Cousins, the alleged shooter from last month. Inside Cousins' apartment, police confiscated 2 laptop computers, notebook journals, his lab schedule, 2 external hard drives, flash drives, his wallet, and an MP3 player. The police are hoping that some of these items will be able to assist them in the case. The state's discovery disclosure for the case was also issued last week. The disclosure lists more than 225 people who could be considered witnesses for Cousins' trial. As well, prosecutors will be allowed to use police video and reports from local gun shops and the shooting ranges. The jury trial is set for April 22nd. This Friday, Cousins will be attending his status conference with a judge to set a date for the real trial. He will be entering that trial with a plea of not guilty. After such a serious start with the news, let's head over to John to take a look at sports. John?
Thank you, Lauren. Yesterday in Lafayette proved to be an emotional one to say the least. Women's basketball faced off against Nebraska for senior night in Mackey Arena. KK Hauser, who tore her ACL at Michigan State February 2nd, started the game and played for the first 2.5 minutes. Courtney Moses also had her season high of 29 points to help lift the Boilermakers over the number 16 Cornhuskers. With that win, they have locked up their spot as a 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament and will play Friday at 2:30 in Indianapolis. Turnovers. And no, I am not talking about the sweet and delicious pastry. I am talking about what prevented Purdue from beating another ranked opponent. 16 turnovers are what Purdue coach Matt Painter referred to as key in the 83-76 loss against Iowa yesterday. A win against Michigan and Iowa would have been huge for the Boilermakers, but hopes of making the NCAA tournament are now diminishing. With these recent losses, their only hope is to win the conference tournament, which will be held next week. Until then, the Boilermakers will travel to take on the always tough Wisconsin Badgers this Wednesday at 9. Alex, would you like to tell us how that weather is going to be over in Wisconsin?
All right, John. Actually, Wisconsin right up here at the top of the map as we look at our future forecast. It's going to be dry most of the week for not only Wisconsin, but most of the Midwest. So we see a clean sweep, a little bit of snow passing through the upper Midwest, but nothing really to speak of here. It's going to be a dry next few days. You see just a little chance of a disturbance, but I really don't think that'll be too much of a deal as we go into the middle of this week. Now tonight, if you're staying on campus studying, anything like that will drop from the teens into the single digits, so definitely bundle up. We are headed to a very cold night tonight. A low of -1, very cold. The winds will be calm, but definitely bundle up as you head out to classes tomorrow morning. And on that 7-day forecast, high of 22 on your Tuesday. And as you look forward into the week, some things to look forward to. A 42 there for a high on Friday. And some decently warmer temperatures as we head into the weekend. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s, a lot better than teens and 20s, I would say, especially as we head into March and hopefully out of winter and into spring sometime soon. Now remember, for up-to-the-minute updates, you can always follow us on Twitter at Purdue Weather. Thank you for joining us today on Fast Track Extra. We hope to see you back here again tomorrow.